Right now, an explosion at a dam is causing massive flooding in Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine. Also, the golf world is getting consolidated. The PGA Tour agrees to form a partnership with Live Golf, but what does it all mean? This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday. A Madison police officer is facing charges for drinking and driving while carrying a loaded gun. Records filed in Dodge County show 35-year-old Dennis Serptoli crashed his car along Highway 19 in the early morning hours of May 9th, that is. In a criminal complaint, he told a responding deputy he had crashed 2 hours before they arrived and had a loaded gun in the car. Serptoli has since been charged with operating a firearm while intoxicated. He was cited for a first offense OWI. An MPD spokesperson also confirmed Serptoli resigned from the department days later on May 12th. In a statement, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes commented on the incident saying, quote, "I acknowledge that these situations are unacceptable and all officers are required to obey the law on and off duty." He added that, quote, "more needs to be done and I will be looking into other support initiatives for our department." Let's head on over to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has looked at your certified most accurate forecast. Some people got a little rain today.
Yeah, we're still getting a little bit of rain today, and I think it'll be off and on. We still got the air quality advisory out there to the smoke that we had this morning. It'll be less of that probably tomorrow, but still it is in the atmosphere, so something to keep in mind up to about 6 p.m. Overall, you see the cloud cover out there. There's a few showers and thunderstorms in that cloud cover as we got a front that's very weak, but it is sliding southeastward. Overall, you can see the showers that have went through southern Wisconsin this morning. Some areas have picked up some precipitation, but you're starting to see a little bit less of it further north, so I think we'll start to see less of it this afternoon. More or less everything gets to the south and southwest of the area. Generally about a quarter in the green areas as you get a little bit darker in the blues, you get up to a half. So some areas have picked up some. It looks like the airport just now picked up maybe around 3/10 or a little bit more in the last several hours. So we're getting some, but once again, not a lot, and it's not all widespread. Temperatures, however, have cooled down, upper 60s. Mid-70s go further southwest where it actually hasn't got the precipitation yet, but that's the good news. We shouldn't see the temperatures climb too much above the mid to upper 70s or hold where they are right now. We'll see that haze, less of a chance as we get for showers in the afternoon. And the cloud cover will continue to tonight, too. So what's ahead, we'll kind of break down if we see any more rain tonight, how those chillies, those temperatures will actually get this week, and whether we'll see the heat come back next week. I'll break that all down a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, we'll check back. Thanks. A pair of Madison chefs are now James Beard Award winners. Itaro Nagano and Andrew Krager of Fairchild Restaurant are both winners of the Best Chef in the Midwest Award. The business partners behind the Monroe Street restaurant beat 4 other finalists to earn the honor. In an Instagram post, the duo said, quote, "To be recognized amongst a crowd of our industry peers and all of the deserving nominees is an honor we don't take for granted." The Janesville Fire Department says everyone escaped a house fire late last night. It happened on Cobblestone Lane south of Northeast Regional Park. Just before midnight, several departments responded to a fire spotted near the back of the home. They're able to get the fire under control quickly, and damages are estimated at just over $100,000. Sources tell CNN prosecutors have raised questions about a flood at Mar-a-Lago last October in a room where computer servers containing surveillance video logs were kept. Sources say an employee at the property drained the resort's swimming pool, and that triggered the flood. Prosecutors want to know if the room containing the surveillance logs was deliberately flooded or if it was a mistake. The incident happened about 2 months after the FBI retrieved hundreds of classified documents from the Trump estate. At that time, prosecutors obtained surveillance footage to track down White House records where they were moved to around the resort. An explosion at a dam is causing massive flooding in Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine. Both Russia and Ukraine say this is no accident. Natalie Brand has more details from Washington.
Rushing floodwaters caused by an explosion at a hydroelectric power plant and dam in southern Ukraine threatened the already battered war zone. Police have begun to evacuate elderly people as thousands live in the water's path, including the key city of Kherson. The dam in Russian-controlled territory holds back a reservoir the size of the Great Salt Lake in Utah. It provides water for drinking and agriculture, as well as cooling reservoirs for the critical Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
Our current assessment is that there is no immediate risk to the safety of the plant. We are following this by the minute, as you can imagine.
Some international law experts say it could be a war crime as Ukraine and Western allies blame Russia for the attack.
But I can already say that the destruction of Nova Kakhovka dam brings the targeting of civilian infrastructure and civilians in Ukraine to unprecedented new level.
The explosion comes as Ukraine says it is ready for a long-planned counteroffensive to retake land currently held by Russia. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Experts are warning of a potential environmental disaster. Ukraine says 150 tons of oil has already spilled into the river there. In golf, the PGA Tour and European Tour agreed to a merger with Saudi Arabia's Gulf interest, creating a commercial operation designed to unify professional golf around the world. As part of the deal, the sides are dropping all lawsuits involving LIV Golf against each other, effective immediately. Still to be determined is how players like Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson, who defected to Saudi-founded LIV Golf for 9-figure bonuses, can rejoin the PGA Tour after this year. Pope Francis has gone to a hospital in Rome for a checkup, and news agency reports that today, quoting what were sources with knowledge of the matter. There was no immediate word from the Vatican. The Pope, who is 86, spent 5 days in the hospital earlier this year with a lung infection and last month skipped audiences due to a fever. Francis, who marked the 10th anniversary of his pontificate in March, has suffered a number of ailments in recent years. A 27-year-old man is now in custody for the shooting death of a 1-year-old girl in Milwaukee. Family members say it started with an argument between the girl's parents and someone they knew. When the family tried to leave a car, the person they were arguing with followed them, shooting into their car multiple times, hitting the little girl. Her grandmother spoke of the crime.
You're a monster. To attack a vehicle with children in it? To attack a person, period. You're a monster.
Her parents drove her to a nearby fire station for help. She later died at the hospital. Milwaukee police have not yet released the suspect's identity. The GOP field is about to get quite a bit bigger this week, with one announcement happening today and up to 3 more on the fence. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is holding a rally in New Hampshire. Then tomorrow, former Vice President Mike Pence is set to kick off his presidential bid in Iowa. He officially filed his paperwork on Monday. With those two, plus North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum anticipated Wednesday's announcement, the Republican field will expand into double digits this week. Still, former President Trump has a massive lead in the polls for the nomination, despite mounting legal concerns. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Your household appliances could be costing you thousands in wasted energy. We have some simple changes to help you save your utility bills coming up in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Apple has unveiled its much-anticipated virtual reality headset, the Vision Pro. The company says the headset allows users to blend digital content with the physical world. It's expected to hit stores next year for just under $3,500. Apple's big reveal comes days after competitor Meta gave a sneak peek of its Meta Quest 3 mixed reality headset, which will hit store shelves this fall at a fraction of the cost of Apple's device. Hollywood Actors Union SAG-AFTRA has voted to authorize a strike if contract negotiations break down. Talks begin tomorrow, with the current contract set to expire at the end of the month. It comes as TV and film writers are now entering the 6th week of their strike. Over the weekend, the industry reached a tentative agreement with the Directors Guild, likely avoiding another strike. And June is Pride Month. New results from a survey conducted by the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, known as GLAAD, find 70% of non-LGBTQ people believe companies should publicly support the LGBTQ community in hiring and advertising practices. This comes as some Target stores have pulled Pride merchandise off their shelves recently due to threats from some customers. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Checking stocks at the noon hour, the Dow Industrial is down 60 points, the NASDAQ off a point. The S&P 500, though, managing a 2.5-point gain. The average family loses more than $6,500 a year in wasted energy. That's according to Consumer Reports. Michael George shows you how a few simple changes can save you money and be better for the planet.
Your home appliances and lawnmower could be burning more energy and money than you think.
People really do waste money by not, doing those little things that improve efficiency.
Paul Hope from Consumer Reports says that includes regularly cleaning your dishwasher filter and wiping down the gasket. And you can save water by not pre-rinsing the dishes.
Most dishwashers actually have a soil sensor built in to see how dirty the dishes are going in. When you pre-rinse, you're actually fooling it into thinking the dishes are cleaner.
To keep your stove in shape, clean up spills fast. And check that the flame is blue.
That means everything's working as it should. If it's burning yellow or orange, that's a pretty good indicator that you might have a clogged burner or something wrong with one of the burner tubes.
A lot of us store items on top of our fridge, but that wastes energy.
You can actually interfere with the fridge's ability to dissipate heat.
Hope says the ideal fridge temperature setting is 37 degrees. And food will last longer with veggies in the crisper drawer and meat on the bottom shelf where it's coldest. When it comes to the lawn, Consumer Reports says electric mowers are better for the planet, more efficient, and save money in the long run.
For years, gas was really the gold standard with outdoor tools, and that's changed in the last few years.
How big a difference can these changes make?
Over time, there's potential to save thousands of dollars by just taking care of the appliances you have.
A few simple changes adding up to a lot of savings. Michael George, CBS News, Yonkers.
Well, today's egg prices are next, along with a pleasant forecast. And then today on Live Before, June is here. And Consumer Reports says the best buys if you're looking for a gift for dad or a grad.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report is in Baraboo today, checking out the location of this year's Farm Technology Day. She'll be back tomorrow. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Greg's here looking back at an important day in history.
Yeah, it was back in D-Day when it really was an important forecast. And back then, obviously, we didn't have all the technology we had today. Obviously, no weather satellite radar observations were limited, but they did have quite a few over the ocean and west of Europe at the time. So that's kind of what they relied on. What actually happened? Well, it was kind of interesting. We still had the storm on the June 5th. It was delayed. They thought there would be a break June 6th. Staggs is the officer who the British forecast area that actually predicted that correctly. Unfortunately, the Germany thought it would last to about the bad conditions to the middle of June, so they weren't quite prepared for that break that actually did happen. So like I said, it did change quite a bit of history with getting it correct. Overall for us, we don't have to deal with so much of a hard forecast. Really a few showers and thunderstorms today. Unfortunately, we're going to be dry through Friday. And then we do have another chance probably Saturday, not an all-day rain, not going to be a widespread one, but that would be the next chance. The good news with the temperatures are we going to be cooler, more typical June. We actually could get in the 40s for lows since it's going to be quite low. Very low humidity, a little bit increase in this weekend. We might see some more heat, maybe dry heat by the middle of next week, but that's still kind of a little bit in doubt. Overall, we have this system coming through. Then we're just going to keep all the action really to the west of all the precipitation. The next front I talked about for Saturday is really doesn't come into the picture till later. You'll see it here. But overall, right there, that's the one that may dip south by Friday, provide us an opportunity for some more showers and thunderstorms. But overall, not going to be a widespread event by any way of what we're looking or hoping for. For today, really, we're going to see more of the action really develop further south, and especially southwest Wisconsin, northeast Iowa. That is the area where I think we'll stand the best chance of seeing more widespread showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, and that'll go through this evening. Otherwise, most of the other areas with some cloud cover, upper 70s, low 80s with the smoke this evening and overnight. Once again, it's going to be really the same area. Far southwest Wisconsin through northeast Iowa will certainly stand the best shot of seeing more gently rain, maybe a half-inch, maybe even 3/4 up there. Well, that'll be good news for a lot of those areas down there. Unfortunately, not too much in the way of seeing it. Maybe a shower or two over Madison east. We got a little bit of a weak system coming through. I think most areas will be dry. But once again, when we go tomorrow morning, it's the same general area, southwest Wisconsin to northeast Iowa, that probably will pick up more of the showers and a few thunderstorms. Generally light amounts be expected. By the time we get to 8 a.m. for most areas, we're sitting around 60 or upper 50s. The rest of the day with that northeast wind should be very nice. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures tomorrow not getting much above mid to upper 70s, which is right where we should be for this time of year. Fairly dry and really going to be a really comfortable Wednesday. The good news is that'll continue on till Thursday as we're looking at that. Smoke-wise, a lot of it's getting pushed south. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll get rid of it entirely tomorrow into Wednesday. I think we'll see some improvement, but one thing you want to notice as we get towards Wednesday, watch as more snow starts vecting back into the area by Wednesday, maybe into Thursday. So we'll have to watch this new area as it kind of gets pulled back around basically to the east and into our area. So we may not be done with the smoke through the rest of the week. We'll have to keep an eye and see if we get any more air quality issues with that. For right now, that is still out for today until 6 p.m. with the air quality and those showers, thunderstorm chances through this afternoon. But then you'll notice the temperatures mid to upper 70s through Thursday, even Friday. One thing to note, there's 40-degree temperatures overnight. We could even see lower temperatures in some of the colder spots, maybe low to mid 40s, because it is going to be very dry, so something to keep an eye on. Otherwise, going into next week, dry, thunderstorm chance Saturday, maybe warming up towards the middle of next week.
All right, looking good. A little relief from the heat.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Greg, thank you. Check out the tongue on this Lab Shepherd mix from Metairie, Louisiana. At 5 inches long, Zoe now holds the world's record for the longest tongue on a living dog. Her owners, Sadie and Drew Williams, said people commented on Zoe's tongue so much they took her to the vet to have it measured. Turns out Zoe's tongue was a record breaker. Her owners also say Zoe is a friendly dog, but if you pet her, she might slobber on you. There's a lot of slobber available there. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. I'm next. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Join me today as we celebrate Dairy Month with a cheesecake that is dairy delicious. Well, it is. Are you someone who runs into the supermarket, grabs what you need, and out the door you go? Or do you sort of mosey down the aisle to see what's new? Well, no matter which category you fall into, with June being Dairy Month, there is no better time to spend a few extra minutes to check out all the new and exciting finds in the dairy aisle. One of the biggest sections that has continued to grow is the yogurt section. It seems this year there are more flavors and pack sizes than ever, including plant-based options. And if you're a cheese lover, you'll find everything from creamy as can be cheese slices to bricks that are ideal for nibbling or making sauces. The shredded options are an easy way to make any dish ooey and gooey. Of course, there are the staples. Butter, which is ideal for cooking and baking, to easy as can be tubs that will ensure us the perfect schmear. If you're a coffee lover, there are more ways to lighten it up and flavor it than ever. Or if you prefer juice, you'll be blown away with all the blends that are good for sipping or teaming with your favorite adult beverage. So to salute this month, I've whipped up a cheesecake that brings many of these must-haves together. So right after the news, Go online and get the recipe for our new lemon ricotta cheesecake that's decadently irresistible. And while you pick up the ingredients, mosey down the dairy aisle and discover a few new finds of your own. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we've discovered a dairy delicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, here's Greg now. One final check of the forecast.
Yeah, we still got the showers out there. A lot of it is now mainly south and southwest of Madison. Looks like Monroe's getting a pretty good thunderstorm down there too. But overall, it's still really isolated in nature. Those are your temperatures right now. We're getting up to the mid-70s, near 80 in our period of sheen, but Madison probably mid-70s, so definitely cooler. Looks like southwest Wisconsin is really the area to watch out for more development, especially Platteville to Dubuque, that area. I don't think we'll see much in the way east of that, but still we could see a shower or two here. Overnight temperatures warmer to the southwest where they'll have the showers, around 50, definitely cooler that we'll see. And then tomorrow, much more pleasant, plenty of sunshine, mid-70s, really where we should be this time of year. And there's your temperature throughout the rest of the week. Looks very comfortable.
Up and down. All right. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, you have yourselves a great afternoon.